Hello and greetings, everyone. 'Tis I, the Silver-Quill, wishing you a very happy Friday. And appreciating you coming by, even though I'm a little late myself. Let's just see here. Oh, this is troubling. Why is... Oh, okay, good. For a minute there, I was afraid my stream on YouTube was not going.
Wishing you a very happy Friday. And appreciating you coming by, even though I'm a little late myself. Let's just see here. Oh,
there we go. Goodness. Apologies about that. I am doing everything in a bit of a rush these days. Oh, hello, Flitter Chris. Oh, it's so good to see you over on the Twitch. And the illustrious Q. Marvelous. So, why am I late? Well, I'll tell you all in a minute after I say some more hellos to folks like Q and Flitter Chris, Preston Cox and Blue Griffin, Ven Pie, Adam Leisman, Cosmera Inspira and Enderpup. Trinary is here, heyo, and Luna Brony. Also, I see Swordbreaker 12 and Pokemon Fire Eevee, Komodo Steel, Mary Drake, and Zapstrider Gaming. Sorry, Zapstride Gaming. Blue Ink. And let's see, Briggs 7, Michael Billington. And hopefully some other good things. That time loop you were hearing, Cosmonaut, was I forgot to switch my speakers to internal, or rather to go to my soundboard. Oh, it's all a bit crazy, isn't it? Oh, Chris, it's always great to have you. Never feel obligated to swing by, but I'm very happy to see you. So, good times. Now, why am I delayed in my start? Well, today has been, well, actually this week has been crazy go nuts. I have had so much to do with so little time, but we've been meeting those obligations and accomplishments. Today, I had folks from Decluttering Solutions who helped me get my home more in order, enabling me just to, we still have to do some fine tuning, but oh, I'm in such a better organizational state right now than I was, and can become better still. The trade-off is we were going until like 5:45, and then I gave myself a little time to order dinner, and I have it here with me. But I might take small pauses just to snag a bite of the pizza, because pizza is wonderful. Hello, David Redrawn. Glad to have you here. And Seth Carlo, good to have you. Exactly, this was a winter wrap-up for the Chris. Ah, ma foi. Now then, now it's time to get to work on artistry. But first, I've been so busy that I didn't have a chance to gather more references, and I realized just the last stream that I needed them. So, here we are. This is Pinterest, which some of my friends say don't go to this website. There's some sort of stigma that I don't know about. And granted, probably some risk in streaming as I don't know what images might appear. But I just want to gather some references for the Transformers. Gotta give this just a sec. Real life is the worst trip you've ever been on, says Seth. And well, it's true, but it's also a trip with some great highlights. And goodness knows we all need that. I also need my equipment to wake up for me. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, let's just move this out of the way real quick. Because this is the Japanese style of drawing Transformers, where you can see a great deal of extra detail. They don't lose the main character in it, in this case Metroplex. But boy howdy, it's certainly more than you ever saw in the cartoon, eh? And then there's this one where Ultra Magnus, from the days when they thought that Galvatron was someone other than reformatted Megatron. Optimus having a bad day at work. We've all been there. Honestly, this is how he looked probably at the end of Dark Awakening, when in Season 3 they decided to bring up a zombified Optimus. And everyone was surprised when kids took to that rather poorly. And that's just not okay. Okay, I got that one already. I mean, you don't traumatize the kid and then parade that trauma in front of them again. No wonder that they had to do some very hasty backpedaling in order to avoid lawsuits or just losing their audience in general. Huh. Well, this isn't Optimus, but it is the Japanese style. I'll just save them real quick anyway. There we go. See, here's one of the big things I like about this. Michael Bay, in an interview, kind of scoffed at the boxy design of Transformers. And fair is fair. It is boxy. Much box. But what you do with the angles and the posing, just because the design is simple doesn't mean it can't be drawn very effectively. I fear Michael Bay tends to mistake complexity for art. All right. Now, Eggman, GA, you wondered, did Galvatron start out as his own character? Well, when he was first introduced as a toy, one, he was portrayed as Ultra Magnus's rival. And, oh, hello, RC. This is also how the Japanese appear to draw characters. Go fig. And this was American, but why not? Is this emotion? Yes, when you kill when you kill Starscream, as sad as I was to lose Optimus in the movie, losing Starscream really undid the villain's dynamic. Just was never the same. There we go. Optimus Prime. So, no more of that. And let's get over... Pardon me one sec. I've now got to navigate to my downloads. Let's get the Optimus Prime back in the center stage. Oops. Sorry. Switched over to the wrong streaming setup. Now, so further answering Eggman's question. Nobody really knew what was going to happen in the Transformers movie, so Galvatron was treated as something separate from Megatron. It wasn't until after that we learned what was really going down. Alrighty. I'm sorry to say I didn't make much progress on Optimus here, but we're going to try and do better. Don't worry about not being... Yeah, don't be ashamed if you're not well versed in Transformers. I mean, good God. That franchise may be older than some of us, but not older than me. No, I am the ancient. So, let's see here. Grab as many of the Optimus Primes as I grabbed. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Here we go. Let's bring these on over here. Oh, Enderpup, you're not wrong. Starscream had it coming like 50 times over. In some ways, it was the fulfillment of what Megatron always promised. But it also undid the dynamic of the Decepticons. And perhaps a very cruel fate, after the movie, after he got tossed into deep space, Galvatron took a bath in magma, and as a result became cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And basically was so violent and deranged he started attacking his own guys in the midst of a battle. So, in some ways, he became something even worse than Starscream's treachery. Starscream would at least fight the Autobots. Galvatron fought everybody. So you either die the treacherous villain or you live long enough to become not as bad. There's a strange version. But here we are. Optimus Prime in the metal. And let's get these embedded so I don't have to worry about losing my connection. Embed, embed, embed. Oh, go to link, relink. Ah. Embed images. Thank you. Also, let's get a little music going because if I snag a bite to eat real quick, I want you all to have something pleasant to listen to. Hopefully that's good. Oh, Michael Bullington, you remember Web World. The one time Galvatron faced genuine treachery from the one being who always had his back. That would be Cyclonus. And yeah, he tried to take Galvatron in for, let's call it, a very aggressive therapy, and mostly succeeded in Galvatron blew up the planet, essentially. So I'm sure Galvatron found that part very therapeutic, but not so much beforehand. Okay, how do I want to tackle this? Because we got Optimus in a certain style, the style of this YOLO Park reference I put together, but I want him to have other qualities. Like, okay, take a little look. This is one of the Prime designs from the original sketches, and these look like panels. These look like panels right here as well. But here they're more like vents, and I like that design a little bit better. So, multiple ways to draw your favorite character. We're going to take this piecemeal, but first I need to draw those arms and hands, and hands are my kryptonite. Yes, I'm switching from Transformers to DC, because everything is 55 degrees of DC. Actually, it's funny, Marvel has had more interactions with the Transformers. Spider-Man even made friends with Huffer. What's that joke? Along came a Spider-Man. Do. Wait. You like the quotes, Flitter Chris? I'm glad. I like to throw them in there. I don't know if I totally agree with Lao Tzu that a great leader, nobody knows that a great leader helped make something happen. They're under the belief that they manage themselves. But at the same time, I do appreciate the idea that a leader is not seeking glory. Tell you right now, the world could use a great majority of leaders who would not be seeking glory. That's as political as I'll get, but yeah. Not a great time. Not a lot of great leaders, in my opinion. Now, one tragic flaw in all this. I'm having a little... Let's add just a little line art here to signify the top of the finger. And let's also maybe not completely round, but square off this here finger. Decisions. There we go. Now we just angle you down a little. Not quite that thin. We want it to be just a little bit bigger. Oh great, now the width tool is being finicky with me. How dare you! Good. And Transformer was very first time Optimus Prime died, which was sad at the time. Yes, indeed, Lee Sharon. I don't know if Optimus Prime dying has the same same gravitas anymore, because he's come back from the dead so often. But back in 1986, yeah, we believed Prime was gone forever. And again, people were resistant to Rodimus as the new Prime. Preston Cox, have you seen Transformers 1, where they heavily imply Optimus giving at the time, Orion Pax giving the finger? I can transform one finger. .006. Oh dear. Can't read that aloud. Now then. Crazy. Sadly, I couldn't make it over across the pond to see the new convention. I am hoping that I'll be at Winnie City and then Everfree Northwest, but well, still waiting on some words. Alrighty, Optimus, let's get you another joint. Oh, sounds like I'm offering him marijuana. You know, it's funny, in Japan, they had Transformers Victory. And the closing credits for that are just weird. I mean, it's basically asking, would Starsaber, the new leader, would he do all these naughty things like wet his bed and not tell his parents? And the goal was to be a good role model for the kids in Japan. But I had to wonder, how would that even work? I really don't want to know anymore. Victory was an oddball. But it was showing signs of Transformers was on its way out in the public awareness of Japan to be replaced by the Brave Heroes series, which I haven't seen much of, but I know of the King of the Braves, Gao Gai Gar. It's one of those high energy, hot-blooded robot superhero pieces. Oh, yes, Leah, I did hear about Ted Turner passing, and very sad for that. But he left one heck of a legacy. It's always, how do I put this? When you hear about a public figure dying, there's two reactions in my book. The first is the reaction of friends and family, and for them I offer nothing but respect and condolences. They knew that public figure in a way I can't. But it's also true to say that there are times where politically, socially, the conversation is perhaps healthier without that person's input. And that may seem harsh or cruel, but sometimes I feel that way. It's not that I wish them dead, but I do wish for some silence. Alrighty. Preston Cox, I don't understand this obsession with Michael Caine. I know you want him to like voice Megatron. Wait. First off, he's 93 years old. Yeah, born in 1933. I wouldn't ask too much of him. I believe at this point he's earned some quiet downtime. Not saying he wouldn't be a great voice actor, but at some point you gotta give a person the chance to take it easy. Let's see here. Let's not make this just totally symmetrical. A hand is never that uniform. Brian Hull, not Brian. I'm not familiar with the Brian Hull. Who is this Brian Hull of IMDb? He does character impressions, is a voice actor in Los Angeles. I found his IMDb page. Oh. And Trinary is spoiling me. Always the spoiling. What's this fellow worked on? Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. MechWest. I admit I haven't heard of a lot of these. Funny enough, some buds showed me Tangled Before Ever After this past Monday. But I'll let you in on a shocking little secret. I've never seen the original Tangled movie. can I say? I just missed out. And now one more slide and reduction. We'll cut this up some more. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. Here. Okay, maybe not that far down. There we go. Jurassic What If? I'm afraid for whatever... He was in Hotel Transylvania 4. That's about the first one I've really recognized. Apparently he hit the scene in 2016. Blue Ink, you like the voices from Transformers 1. I do as well, but it is kind of funny knowing that Thor is voicing Optimus Prime, and then as he's trying to be more of the serious Optimus in the end, like, oh, Chris Hemsworth, you are magnificent. I just don't know if you're ready to be Optimus Prime. He's a great Orion Pax, but I feel like he needs to be slightly more baritone to be Optimus Prime. Did love his first ability, transform and roll out. Alrighty, let's see here. Wait, Brian Hull was the voice of Dracula in Hotel Transylvania 4? Surprised Adam Sandler didn't get in on that. Well, who knows? You know, it's funny. I loved Opera Man on SNL, one of Adam Sandler's characters, but I never really got into Adam Sandler's movie characters. Maybe I'm just unreasonable, but he was great on SNL for sort of that childlike energy. But as he got older and maybe a bit more cynical, not quite the same humor in my book. Adam Leesman is a baritone Optimus Prime makes you think of a Transformers musical on Broadway. I would totally go see that. I have no idea how they'd accomplish the transformation aspect, and I'm terrified it would end up like Spider-Man the musical, but by God, I'd want to see them try. Or perhaps I should say by Primus. Boy, that'd be talk about law of unintended consequences. If we find out if the Transformers were real, And we found out that they believed in Primus. What would theologians make of such a thing? Speaking of Thor, Marvel Comics actually had a priest talk to Thor during a crisis of faith. I mean, it's like, what do I tell my parishioners? What do I say when a guy who says he's a literal god flies in and breaks their cars? Thor handled it rather well. He told about higher powers that even the Asgardians took heed, and was very respectful to them. So I thought that was pretty well done. There we go. Pardon me a sec, I'm going to have a bite of Din Din. That yummy. Thank you for your patience. I made it a point to get some honey with my dinner because I think pizza crust is at its best with a dab of honey. Now, question came up from Enderpup. Have I seen the new Star Fox and the new designs they are having? Yes, I have. I saw the trailer, and I have to say, this is how to best say this. A part of me was disappointed that it was yet another retelling of the original Star Fox. Now, don't get me wrong. Star Fox 64, exceptional. It did a great job with the Star Fox crew and making it a much better story, branching story, than the limitations of the SNES. But then we've had other renditions. And I just start to think, okay, guys, is there any way to do Star Fox without relying on that first story? Now, as for the designs, which are more true to animals and less anthropomorphized, I suppose there's the concern that they become too alien, too not recognizable as anthropomorphic. But I'm willing to give it a chance. See how expressive they are, how much they get to interact. So I'm hopeful. But hey, I'll give it a go. Although I don't have a Switch 2 yet. Not the worst thing. A lot of people don't like Nintendo as a company, says Lee Showron. And yep, I understand. I don't know. How can I best put this? Ultimately, it's people who make the policy changes, but Nintendo holds the identity. And since I'm not privy to all that happens behind the scenes at Nintendo, I can understand when people say, oh, I don't like Nintendo, the company. And yeah, Star Fox Command, the one with all the different endings that also character assassinated Crystal and Fox, I did not like that. It's like, okay, you introduced Crystal, and then she became a full-fledged member of the team, even took over for Peppy in an R-Wing. Now we're resetting once again, so she's not involved. I feel like you're just undoing a lot of stuff. So who will appear as supporting characters? Maybe Kat or Bill? Tell you one thing, I didn't like Dash's ending in Star Fox Command. It was a Command or Assault. I get those mixed up. I like the idea of Andross's cousin serving with distinction, but rather than have him become the villain of the next story, as one ending tried, I like the idea that he tries to build a better Venom, starting with perhaps a name change. But who knows? So, you know, I actually might like if Dash showed up in this new Star Fox. Just saying, my uncle lost his way. I'm here to set things right. Of course, I also remember how kind of speciesist Falco was. Granted, the monkey was the enemy of Star Fox, but still, are you going to listen to that monkey? Hey, man. Let's see. A lot of people have monkeys on their backs. Well done, Trinary. Seems like Mario is in love with Peach in the movie, but according to the creator, they're just friends. Okay, I gotta call baloney on the whole just friends thing. You're talking to a fellow who has seen Mario rescue the princess many, many times over. And especially in Super Mario World, where they introduced Yoshi, and honestly did a better job than the Super Mario Galaxy movie. When Mario rescues Peach, there are fireworks, and one of those fireworks is heart-shaped. I'm sorry, but you don't use that shape to say they're just friends. It's just not done. Thank you very little. So no, I do not accept this whole they're just friends thing. I can appreciate that if they were simply honest and said, okay, yeah, it is kind of a romance, but we can't take it too far because, you know, this isn't the game for that. Movies, on the other hand, movies could be something wonderfully different. Chrissy, you're feeling sleepy, so I wish you a wonderful night's sleep and hope to talk to you again in the near future. Hugs all around, and we'll catch you again. Now, Venpai, you quote a very wise saying: if you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. But I gotta wonder something. What about the opposite of that? If you try to offend everyone, do you become toothless? Do you lose the ability to make a shocking statement? I've never seen that addressed. All right, let's take a look at our boy Optimus without the background reference. Certain parts are working. Other parts still need a little work. Little TLC. The very first individual is Pauline, yes. But Mario isn't super until his brother Luigi hits the scene. Now, I know right off the bat, I'm going to emphasize perspective here by making Optimus' shoulders a bit more angled. See you in a few, Cherry Fluff Belly. Oh, Preston, Optimus, I have a hard time picturing Optimus getting scammed by Flim and Flam. More than likely, I would think of Optimus from the episode Prime Target, where he sees through deceptions and turns it around. Where he has that wonderful line, amazing, a booby trap that actually catches boobies. Referring to triple changers getting outsmarted. So I could see Optimus turning the tables on Flim and Flam. You don't get to be a military commander of millions of years of combat without learning to see through a few tricks. There we go. Better. Now, first and foremost, Optimus this needs to be a different weight. There we are. And let's mask out this little section. Whoops. Very nice. There's a reason Groucho Marx quipped that military intelligence was a contradiction in terms. True, but that's human military intelligence. Optimus is, I believe, is more of an ideal leader. I much prefer Groucho Marx quip, I wouldn't want to be part of any institution that would have me as a member. And Optimus, let's take a look at that noggin of yours. Yep. When I moved things around, I didn't quite move them enough. There we go. Odd. There we are. Ah, magnifique. We're coming along. Getting where we need to be. A lot of people think GoBots are a copycat Transformers. Well, that's a bit hard when GoBots came out first. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite compete with Transformers. I mean, the biggest thing is that while GoBots was certainly easier on the checkbook than Transformers, a lot of the designs weren't as good. Transformers were more deluxe, if you will. All right, Optimus Prime. Let's hook you up with some smokestacks. We're gonna go make a rectangle. Round it off. Yep. There we go. Then we's gonna add a line. Come on. Boop. There we go. And last but not least, boop. And behold, instant smokestack of a sort. But I'm not done. Group, we're gonna change the perspective on this guy. Here, I'm going to put that a little bit higher than the other parts. Make a mask. There we go. Line art is a bit different. I'm used to doing everything like filled in, but I want to try to make this a bit more stylized in Photoshop. We'll see. Your cat is crawling all over Cosmin Inspira? Well, that's a happy problem. The will is strong, but my brain is smooth. That's a good way to put it. Trinary points out there's TV Optimus and then there's Comics Optimus. And yeah, there were times where, well, okay, actually, both versions had those moments of where good is dumb. Trinary rightly points out that there is a comic where, in a video game, Optimus accidentally hurts simulated civilians in a combat, and as a result, he blows himself up, essentially. And that was done more, I think, to take him out of commission, because they had to bring in whole new figures. But then there's also TV Optimus, who several times took the path of nonviolence when really he was leaving Earth up to the Decepticons. Like, dude, not cool. Definitely not your best moment. Let's go away and come back fresh. Yes, Preston, I do think Optimus and Obi-Wan would get along well. Hello there. Hello. Pardon me a sec, as I have another bit of manja. Okay, I'm better now. Rescue Bots, Lee Sharon. I've really only seen one true episode of Rescue Bots. And I could tell it was very much aimed at a younger audience. There's less Autobot and Decepticon and more helping save the town from very bizarre events. I will say it's got a catchy as can be theme song. I've not seen Rescue Bots Academy, although I've heard about, well, former Decepticons becoming Autobots in that show, which, guess it depends. Ah, goodness. Venpai, a merry May the 4th be with you as well. Truth be told, funny enough, I wanted to watch a bit of The Mandalorian on May the 4th, but that's when we saw the Tangled show. So I need to catch up. Mandalorian and Grogu is on the horizon, and while, okay, I've seen folks getting upset, but it's Star Wars. I feel like that's become the norm. You expect me to enjoy this bit of programming? Ha! I say thee nay. Or rather, I say thee ree. I don't know. I will watch The Mandalorian and Grogu, and I will make my own judgments. Thank you very much. Actually, I've been doing some reflecting on YouTube. Right now, my recommendations are all filled with reviews or video essays about why this fell or that failed or some other awfulness. And I realize there's an audience for such videos. I just don't want to be part of that kind of negativity. If something doesn't work, I'd like to know more than just who's to blame. I'd like to know what would work better. What can we learn? And I feel like too many videos end at at saying this is bad. There's no discussion about what would make it better. I have not watched Hell of a Boss, Preston. How to put this? I've only recently watched Has-Been Hotel. So I have, well, some catching up to do. I have wondered about doing a video about the Hellaverse. While I am not the most devout, I am technically Christian, and I thought, well, ought I to be offended? But I'm not, and it's sort of like, well, okay, what are these really criticizing? Because people like to act like this is the new hot thing, but I've seen anime that where God is the bad guy. I've watched The Devil's Carnival, where God is described as a cosmic thug. I find that usually such entertainment is criticizing more authority than belief. And if they do try to critique belief, they usually do a pretty poor job of it. Other people act like it's a travesty. You know, Eggman, I don't agree with them. I thought there's a lot of things to like about Hell of a Boss. There's actually I believe it's an African myth that really covers the dynamic of Alistair and Charlie. But that's a tale for another day. So, it's something to consider. I haven't really weighed in. I have seen people making videos about, oh, I don't like Hell of a Boss now. Season 2 was bad. And to be honest, I've seen enough people on the internet who deal in bad faith, and you think you want to have a discussion, but at the same time you know that they're not going to do right by any form of genuine talk. So that rang home pretty hard for me. Just check in on OP a little more. Whoop. Oh, that hand's out there in empty space for the moment. Let's see what we can do about that. The lore is messy. Well, that I can appreciate. Here we go. There we go. Looking good. In the hood. Inquisitor points out that episodes 11 and 12 were the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. Intriguing. I say I haven't checked that out yet, so I will need to be aware as I'm watching. Let's just mask this out rather than cut it up. Ah, goodness. All right, Preston, you're heading out. We will catch you on the next time, so take it easy. Everybody loves Luna with 2 O's, says Enderpup. Well, guess why? Believe me, I've seen some artwork, so I know. Silver-Quill is an Ars Goetia. I don't know what that is. Will Disney do something for Star Wars 50th anniversary? I have seen some videos talking about that they're actually considering striking the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, from canon, which I find a wild concept. Don't get me wrong. The Force Awakens was probably the best of the 3, and that one succeeded by just mimicking the original trilogy. For me, the Last Jedi was where I just threw my hands up. I did not enjoy how they handled just about anything in that. And I know for a lot of people, what was the third one? It's The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and... Gosh, I am so apathetic to it all. I've forgotten even the last movie. Good God. What is going on with me? Will the stream end? Sadly, Enderpup, today is so demanding I still have to end at the top of the hour. My apologies. It's just that kind of day. I don't regret the great progress that has come about, but it comes at a cost. Rise of Skywalker, except I don't... Thank you, Trinary. Except I don't view Rey as a proper inheritor of the Skywalker name. If anything, given her closeness with Han, and Rey Solo would at least make more sense. Ah, well, I'm not going to grouse about it ad nauseum because I do like to try and be more positive where I can help it. Oh, Lordy Q. 4-hour video essay? Who has the time to listen to that much negativity? Here's my philosophy on this. If you find that you have hours upon hours of things to say about every minute aspect of a piece, then you got to treat that as a breadcrumb trail. I wanted to say daisy chain, but that's not right. It's a breadcrumb trail, and once you can get at the heart of why all this bothers, then you can make an effective commentary. Until then, you're just harping on. I don't know if many of you have watched a reviewer called SF Debris. I watched him a lot, and he was an inspiration for a lot of my own reviewing. But I found that after a while, I think he spent too much time grousing about Voyager. Because it's like, think of Stephen Colbert and the Colbert Report, and how people legitimately wondered if he really was that personality, that parody of a conservative media host, because he played it really well and was hilarious. So people started to wonder, though, if the joke was authenticity. And by that same expression, SF Debris has made so much fun of Voyager and his dislike of Neelix and all that jazz. You start to wonder if he isn't maybe a little too obsessed with disliking it. Again, it's that critique of, well, negativity gets views, but at the same time, I think it damages the soul. And makes your viewing experience, even if you're trying to laugh at something so bad it's funny, it can get in the way of that. And yes, you're right, Enderpup, we do have hyperfixations. But how we approach those fixations and how we present them is also a very powerful component about how the image we present ourselves to the world. Now, a video about what Raccoon Crossing wonders. I'll try to keep this explanation brief. There is an episode called The Good Shepherd of Star Trek Voyager. And in this, Captain Janeway tries to take several less than efficient, less than social, what would it be, like low-ranking officers under her wing for a mission. The argument being that she needs to focus more on these crew members for a bit in order to take care of the whole flock. Problem is that, one, she's doing this on a very dangerous mission for which they might not be qualified, and two, there are points where you might actually agree with the criticisms from the supporting cast, who all, and this is by SF Debris' own critique, did a really good job of making these fleshed out characters. But SF Debris likes to present Janeway as a mad person, power hungry, obsessed with control, and ready to kill entire civilizations. And he's leaned into that so hard, I've started to wonder if he really believes it. I mean, on one level, I know it's mostly done for humor, but after a while, the anger starts to feel more genuine. Gargoyle, Superman, Star Trek and Star Wars have been a few of your hyperfixations. Cosmin Inspira, mine too. And pastel ponies. Well, I kind of feel like that goes without saying. Let's see. Enterpup's fixations: trains, tanks, Lego, Star Wars, Five Nights at Freddy's, TF2. Well, what are some of my fixations? Star Wars, Star Trek, definitely. Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. Little Fatal Fury, mostly on the anime side. Zoids. And, of course, pastel ponies. And Transformers, yes. Mustn't forget the Transformers. Ugh, and exhaustion. Whew. The tiring thing about getting a place organized is that decisions really do take up a lot of brain power and calories. But oh, the joy of being able to walk without fear of tripping or, you know, making a mistake. Now, I've still got long ways to go in terms of sorting things and finding a place for everything and getting it in that place, but that's easier to do when you don't feel like... how do I best describe this? You don't feel like you have to accomplish 5 different things just to make this one thing happen. There we go. Raccoon Crossing, you gotta go? Well, I wish you a very wonderful night. See here, Brig 7 loves Soulsborne, My Little Pony, any SFF book, and writing. But what is SFF? I do not know. I would usually think sci-fi, but that's just SF. What is this extra F? Most people claim they have no more of those to give, but you've got an extra. Oh, thank you, Raccoon Crossing. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Oh, and my other fixation, yes, manta rays. As Eggman points out. Science fiction fantasy. Ah, they get thrown together. That makes sense. Those also fly under the banner of speculative fiction. Although, funny enough, that the acronym for which is SF, so yeah, a bit of catch-22 there. Let's widen this because we're trying to go again for emphasized angles. Oh boy, people can... Oh, I forgot to mention Digimon. Trinary and I share a love of Digimon. There's Bluey, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Godzilla, animation in general. Yep, we're all kinds of nerds. Venpai, it's My Little Pony, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, superheroes from Marvel and DC. Oh, Lordy Eggman. So many acronyms. TTTE, Sonic, TOH, TADC. Oh my. I think I'm losing brain power. I can't quite parse all those acronyms. Seeing the finale in theaters. Okay, what is a finale in theaters? Actually, wait. Now I gotta just Google these, all these various acronyms because it'll drive me bonkers otherwise. Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. Okay. TOH. The Owl House. Okay, that makes sense. TADC. The Amazing Digital Circus. Yeah, I had no chance of parsing that out. I'm sorry, I'm just not with it. I'm just too old. Here we are. Group this up. Mask out the parts that are behind. And we're just about there on a good chunk of Optimus. I haven't given him a leg to stand on just yet. Next up, I'll need to have some holographic displays around him. After some stylization, of course. Excellent. Now, I just need to add a little bit of lines to demonstrate an edge, and then another smokestack, and at least his upper torso will be good to roll. The new season of Invincible is quite good, says Li Xiaoran. Excellent. Any other hyperfixations of mine, Rick 7? Well, let's see. My days in the Digimon fandom, that's really where, quote, Silver got his start. At least my going by that screen name. Let's see, what else? Zoids I was very into that for a time. You know, I've been playing Warhammer Space Marine 2 quite a bit. But Warhammer is very weird for me. It's one of those things where the lore, and by extension, the continuity, is so massive. I feel like there's no true jumping on point. There we go. Ah, Inquisitor 751 likes firearms, both real and fictional. Here we go. And we'll just take this one up a little further. There we go. Now just to mask it out. Found, let's see here. Mary Drake knows my middle name, Silver-Quill. Now, 1 and 2 and 3. 4. There we go. How we looking, Optimus? Well, not bad. Not perfect, but we're going to work towards, well, what I perceive as perfection. Goodness knows the old boy still needs a leg and, well, that gosh darn impressive Autobot insignia. Up, Rick 7, you also love Calvin and Hobbes. Well, that's a great comic. I love that. Huh. I said, let's see here 5 times tonight. Much more than usual. Well, I guess I was on a roll. I don't know how to explain myself. I just am. Now, I'm going to change a few little things here. Starting with grouping this hand and moving that hand down a little. There we go. So naturally, I now have to change the masking Comes with the territory. Now let's... Ah! There we go. Looking good, Optimus. Looking real good. But I am plumb tuckered. Q wonders if these smokestacks are flamethrowers. Well, they were in Transformers 1, but not that I recall in any other. Oh, wait, that's not entirely true. I don't really like this, though. This was when Rooster Teeth did Transformers in the Siege and Earthrise and what else was it? I didn't like this particular rendition of Transformers very much. Oh, but Nemesis Prime did use his smokestacks as laser blasters. Though honestly, I always thought it was rather silly. Nemesis Prime, evil version of Optimus, was just Optimus Prime with black and maybe a smidge of blue. Galvatron is a whole new color scheme and design. Feel like Nemesis Prime got shortchanged on that one. Okay, so gotta stylize the left shoulder to more match the right. His left shoulder, i.e. this one. I said this one. But that's not too hard a challenge, and then I just got to give him another leg. Almost there. Almost there, but it is the top of the hour. Oh, Paw Patrol fan, hello. I'm sorry, but you're coming in at the end. I needs to, finish up my din-din and get ready to have a call with a compadre. So, a full day. It will be a full weekend as well, but I'm on my way and, with my with my study nicely arranged, I can get back to recording audio as well. I'm no longer taking my life in my hands when I go towards my main recording mic. But, everyone, that will have to wait for another time. For right now, I appreciate you hanging with me, even with the late start. And I will look forward to talking with you all again soon. But in whatever the case, I wish you all a wonderful evening and a fantastic weekend. Until we meet again, be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.